Hi all, welcome to my next video, and today I want to talk to you about something that's really important that most people don't talk about here on YouTube, and that is preparing for your shift. What do I mean by that? That means that even before you walk out your door, you want to start thinking about how you're going to make more money than the other dashers, and it starts well before you even walk out your door to start your shift. So in today's video, I want to break down what you need to do before you walk out that door so that you can earn the most money possible. The first thing I want to say is this, is most drivers will go out and they are going out like they're going to Walmart, or they're going to the gas station, or they don't take pride in the way that they look when they head out the door to go dashing. I have seen dashers that are picking up orders for customers in restaurants, and I've seen them in sweats. I once saw a guy that was in flip-flops and socks that was picking up an order. I've seen people that are unkept. I've seen people that are dirty, like literally dirty. And I want you to think about it from your customer's point of view for a moment, and think about if you saw a person that was dirty or unkept, or was in sweats, or was in flip-flops, or, have their pants halfway down their ass. In today's society and the way that other people judge people, how do you think that customer is going to judge you? Now, when I go out to make deliveries, I don't dress up. There are times that I'm in a polo and Dockers because of my daytime job, but most times I wear a t-shirt. I also wear jeans. So I'm not telling you that you have to dress to the nines to get better tips from customers. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying, though, is that you need to look and present yourself like you have some dignity if you want to get higher tips. Not a lot of customers, not all customers are going to see you, especially with the leave it at the door customers, but there are a number of customers that will see you when you go to deliver their food. I once went to a restaurant to pick up an order, and when I got to the restaurant, told them I was with DoorDash. It was a DoorDash order on this particular one. And the woman that helped me at the restaurant, she said, "You're here to pick up a DoorDash?" And I said, "Yeah, I sure am." And she said, "It really surprises me." And I said, "Well, why is that?" And she said, "Most of the DoorDash people that come in here look like thugs." That's not my words, that's hers. And she proceeded to tell me that a lot of times when the dashers come in, they just look downright thuggish, they look unkept, they look dirty, as I said. And if you can imagine, again, from a customer's point of view, if you go out on the road and deliver to people and are expecting them to give you a higher tip, you need to go out there and present yourself in a way that makes yourself look good. As I said, I wear t-shirts, but I have a clean t-shirt on. My jeans are clean. My hair is either combed or you've seen me in a baseball hat. My face is shaven. I take care of myself and have pride in the way I look, and that translates into higher tips. So before you go out and start your dash or your shift, make sure that you look presentable. This indeed will get you higher tips, I promise you. Don't ever go out in sweats. Don't ever go out in flip-flops. Make yourself look presentable and make yourself look dignified, so that the people that you encounter when you're dropping off the food will see a very presentable person, and they will be more inclined to give you tips. So although a lot of people might not think that appearance is important, we've all heard that the very first thing that a person judges you on when you meet them is your appearance. So appearance is very important, even in this food delivery gig life that we do. So it's very important that you look presentable. Second thing is you're going to be taking food to and from for your shift. If you go like I did today, I was out on the road for 6.5 hours. Guess what? Smelling all that food makes me hungry. You're going to get hungry out there on your shift. So what I do is I bring my lunchbox and I pack food in there for myself. I bring plenty of water. I bring a soda if I want it. I have the things with me that I need to have in case I get hungry or thirsty. I'll give you an example just from this morning. My first 2.5 hours, I was going nonstop. I was going straight. I didn't have time for a break at all. And this was because I was just getting flagged with orders from Uber Eats and GrubHub and DoorDash, and I just was busy the whole time. I got hungry about an hour and a half into my shift, and since I packed food as I was driving to a restaurant to pick up an order, I was able to eat and make sure that I could take care of my hunger. So always pack food if you're going to be on a long shift. If you're not going to be on a long shift, it's up to you. But if you're going to be on a long shift that you might get hungry, make sure that you have food and drinks to take, because sometimes you're going to run into such busy periods that you're not going to have time to take a break. So always have something to eat and drink with you if you're going to be out, especially for a longer shift. The next thing is always make sure you have your hot bag. I always keep my hot bag in my vehicle, so it's always there and ready to go when I'm ready to go out on my shift. I've talked to you about keeping the food warm for the customers because that will increase your tips. So it's really important that you always have your hot bags with you so that you can use them when you get orders. I have a DoorDash bag, and then I also have a larger GrubHub bag. And depending on the size of the order will depend on which one I use. Sometimes I get a couple orders, and when I get 2 orders, I have 2 different bags to put them in. I've never had more than 2 orders, but I've heard of people having 3. But regardless, I can keep all the food warm that I have in my vehicle because I have my hot bags with me. So make sure that you always have your hot bags with you. The third thing is if you have an order and pay request from Uber Eats, or if you have an order and pay request from GrubHub, or if you have a pickup that requires you to pay at the restaurant from DoorDash, GrubHub, or Uber Eats, make sure that you always have that card with you so that when you go to those restaurants, you can make sure that you can pay for them, because if you can't, you have to give that order back. So make sure that you always have your cards with you when you head out to do your shifts. It will cost you money if you accept an order and pay, or if you accept an order that you have to pay for that's been placed through the app. It will cost you money if you drive all the way to the restaurant just to realize that you don't have your card. So I want to make sure that you understand, always take food with you, always have your hot bags, and always have your cards to pay for the food. So being successful out here starts well before you even walk out of your house or apartment to go do these food deliveries. It is very, very important that you do these things to make better money and to get higher tips from customers. Always make yourself look presentable when you go out the door. That doesn't mean that you have to dress up, as I said, but it does mean that you should have clean clothes on, that you should have them on the right way, that you should have your hair done or have a ball cap on like I wear sometimes, or beanie if it's in the winter. but you want to make yourself look presentable at all times to your customers, because appearance will impact your tips. Also, make sure that you always take food and drink with you if you are going out, especially for more than a couple of hours. As I said, my shift today, I was going gangbusters for the first 2.5 hours, and I would have been starving by the end of that had I not brought my food with me. And I always have drinks with me. And another thing that this does is this keeps you from having to spend more money by buying food while you're out. If you stop at a restaurant and buy food rather than bringing your own from your house, it will always cost you more money most of the time to do that. So that's my recommendation with food. Always make sure that you have your hot bag or hot bags. I'm telling you that the tips that you will receive, because the food is nice and warm when you get it to the customer, it will make an impact on the tips that you get. If you deliver cold food, they're not going to tip you as much. I just took a delivery. My last delivery was actually 13 miles is how far I had to drive, and it took 18 minutes for me to get there. I had the food in my hot bag, and when I got to the residence, I dropped it off, and the food was really warm still. I could feel it. When I opened the bag, I could feel the heat coming out, and it was still really warm. Finally, you're going to have to, if you especially do GrubHub and you do Uber Eats, I probably took 15 deliveries today, and probably over half of them I actually had to pay for with the card. So you got to make sure that you have that card with you when you go out for each of the apps that you run on. I just keep mine in my wallet, so they're always there, and I can use them when I need them. So that is my suggestions to you for when you're preparing to go out on your shift. It's really important that you do all 4 of those things. So I hope you really liked today's topic. It's not something that a lot of people talk about here on YouTube, but it is vitally important to you making more money when you're out here doing these food deliveries. You can make more money than the average driver if you follow these steps and do what I've suggested here. So make sure that you always do these things. I really hope that you enjoyed today's topic, and I really hope that I taught you something that not many people are teaching out here. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like the video so more people can see it and I get noticed on YouTube. And also, please share the video if you know somebody that can use this advice. If they're starting out in their food delivery gigs and they can use some advice, then please share this video with them. I hope you go out there making as much money as possible and have a good day, and I wish you the best of luck. Thanks.